So welcome back to season 1. Not officially episode 1 yet. This is just me testing out my idea that I wanted to do on the other world, where we're building a city, village, whatever, our mega build for the map. But I'm on just a regular old map, one that I had already started. You see my house over there. But I am in creator mode right now because I'm gonna have to fly in order to build what I'm building. But we're gonna see how well I can build this. And I don't think it's gonna end very well. I have a rough draft I had sketched out for the past 2 days of the idea I wanted to do, so we're gonna put it in blocks and hope for the best. And I'm not gonna tell you guys what it is just because I don't want it to be a spoiler. But it involves a lot of numbers, so if you hear me counting out loud, please ignore that. It's me counting the number of blocks because I have it very specifically sketched out. So we've got 4 here, 5, 6. Alright, so, and do not think that for 1 second this is just going to be a flat up house up against this. It actually pops out and it gets really huge. So we're going to let it just be where it's at. I wanted to do it on a flatter base, but because I decided to do it on a mountain, I'm just gonna have to deal with having to carve out the inside of my base later. So my starter is 6 and it goes all the way up till 44. The largest it gets width-wise is about 46 or 46 out width-wise, but it only gets up to 44 in the it's 44 in the width and then 46 going up and down on your vertical scale. So let's start off with our 6 and work our way all the way up there and see where we get. So let's get into it. So 6. Now we're going to go into 8. So I'm just going to add blocks at the end. As you see, this is how I actually sketched it out, was I just added a block every time. That is all I did. So it goes 6, 8, 10. So 8, 9. And then I just want a rough draft. I'm not even worried about filling in right here because technically that is not what I'm going to be doing. I actually do want the mountain in the background, so I might not even fill this in going on my way up. But on my rough draft, in order to do what I did, I had to fill in for every block. I won't be doing that as I build it, but you will hear me say a certain number, but ignore that. So right now we're sitting at 10. We need 20 to go across. I'm hesitating whether or not I actually want to, go up number by number, but for what I'm building, I just don't think that would look good. So let's see, just go with it. So 10, we're going to add 5 to each side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Looks a little weird, but I think we're going to go with it. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Now, I did forget that I was doubling everything, so we're gonna have to start again because I am actually doubling everything as I go up. It is a very huge build. So My starting base I do have to fill in because that is just how it's got to be. So we're going to just delete that and double what we already had. So I guess I am just going to go ahead and fill this in, and then I will go back through and I will remove it as I go. So let's just, so that's 6, 8, 9. Alright, we're deleting that one. Okay. But I did forget that on my rough draft, I literally have it as it looks like one whole line of blocks. But I forgot I doubled it on my rough draft on the sketch paper, so this might help it look not so weird for everybody to look at. As you see, I have messed up somewhere. You see how that is so not even. Alright, so 6, 8. Where did I go wrong? Like, I'm looking at this and I'm like, I so did something wrong here. Alright, we add a block here and then, no, that still looks so wrong. Okay, 6, 8, 10. I feel like something is so wrong right now. What did I do? Okay, maybe add one here. Looks a tad better. I'm just gonna go with it. Yeah, that looks about right. Okay, I think we fixed our problem. Just to make sure that my numbers aren't off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6, 7, 8, 8, 9, 10, 10. Oh my god. What did I do? I, like, actually did something wrong here. I'm actually baffled. Like, what did I actually do? 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that is right. I think it's this one. That one is wrong. Okay, I know what I did wrong. So this is supposed to be 8 right here. That is what I did wrong. I added an extra block at the end. Oh my gosh. Okay, so 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. So that makes so much more sense. Okay. And then it's 10 right here. God, already struggling and I just started. So goes 10 to 20. So let's see if we can do this. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That should make 20. 20 across. I feel like I'm going to actually have to chop half of the numbers down in order to make it look like what I'm trying to make it look like. Okay, so we're just gonna double this, or it's not going to look right. We're not going to forget it this time because I just totally struggled and I only made it up 3 floors. So right now it looks like a woman's ovary. So it goes from 20 to 30, so we're gonna add on 5 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. 5 more on this side as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I may or may not have made it too wide at the top right here and too slim at the bottom. But we're just gonna go with what the build I have right now in hopes it comes together. So I'm going to frame it out of red, but it is not going to be entirely red. As you see, I've got a couple color choices in my bar right now. So we're going to go from 30 to 40. We're going to add on 5 more. So let's do this. Alright, so get down a little. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And I am actually, you know, I've watched a lot of people stream themselves making their build, and they skip through the entire thing on how they built it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take you guys through this entire journey along with me so we can mess up together. So after we have reached 40, we're going to go back down in number size, and this time we're going to do 34. So I've got to math myself here because this is where it gets a tad difficult. Alright, so we're going to go back down to 34, and we've got 2 rows of 34, and then it goes to 32. So right now we have 40. We need 34. So we need to math this. So let's subtract 40 from 32, and that'll tell us how many blocks we need to take away. Yeah, so let's calculate this. So 40 minus 34, we need to take away 6 blocks, so it's 3 from each side. So we would place the next block here, and we would finish the build across, as you see. So we're just going to do it like that. We're only doing the outline of the whole thing. So 3 from that side, 3 from this side, so 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. Alright. Which means we only take 1 from each side going next round because we go back down to 32. So we only need to take 1 away from each side in order to make it even on both. So now on paper it does look a little funny as well, but it literally looks like I built it out of Legos on paper, so we're kind of just going with it at this point. I really don't know what else to do here. I don't want to delete the inside of this just yet, mostly because you see how I've got this, but I think we can go ahead and slim it down a tad. But look at that, like if we slim it down too much, it's just gonna look weird. So we're gonna go from 2 in and slim it down that way. I feel like that looks better. Alright, because I don't want it to be filled in. The red I am just using to outline the whole thing, and then as I build, it's gonna come out this way. It's not gonna just stay in this general area. My build comes all the way out. So it's gonna be interesting. I'm doing it on my old map just so if I need to tweak a couple of things I can. Now this I will not cut the inside out of completely. We're gonna do 2 and that is it. So it already looks kind of weird now that I've actually carved it out, and carved it out as far down as I did go. But now we're going to go back up, and we need to cut off 2 more. So we'll be left with 1 block on each side. This is where it gets tricky because now I have to add on going that way. So it's going to be interesting. But let's bear with me because I think once I get the outline out, and built around, I feel like I can actually start moving towards to tweaking it different ways to where I can fill it in and it looks more like what I'm trying to build. So now we go back up. We're going to add on 2 bricks, then 4 bricks. So now it's right back to where we started. So now we're going to add on another brick. Okay. And we're going to layer that. Look how weird this looks. Like, it kind of just looks like I'm doing whatever, but trust the process. I promise it doesn't look as bad on paper, and it probably will look even better with color. I didn't color it on the paper. I just boxed the stuff. Like, I just made boxes. That is what I did. I spent, I think, 3 hours last night drawing it out and doing the math for it. But I've had this idea for a couple of days now, and it is something that I really love. I enjoy it. So it'll give you a little insight on myself. So what, as you're going to see, is we're just going to repeat this process, but going backwards on the way up. I definitely feel like I didn't exactly think this all the way through, but hey, you learn, am I right? You'll learn. This is how you learn. This will be my mega build on our other map. I'm just rough sketching this right now on a different map so I don't screw it up on the other one, and I know exactly what I need to tweak as I go through. So as this comes out, this area is going to be very important, because right about where I'm standing and down this way is very, very important for a part I want to make on this build. And it's going to be very different, very weird. And it's something I haven't done before, but Beelzebub has, so we're going to go with it. Alright, so now that we have reached 32, we're going to add on another block. I feel like I just got lost in talking about the build and now I don't know where I'm at. So this should have marked 30. So 30, 32, 34. So actually I'm going back up to 40 from what it looks like. Yeah. So I'm going back up to 40 where I add on 3 blocks to the end. 1, 2, 3. So we're back to 40. I got a little lost in talking about the build there for a second. So 40 right here. It does indeed look a tad different. So 1, 2, 3. Am I supposed to add another one? Nope, that looks good. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Just trying to keep it as even as possible because the evenness of this is what's going to matter. So now that we have reached 40, we're going to go up in our 40s now. Instead of declining like we have been, we started off small, got big, declined, and getting big again. Now this is where the biggest numbers come at for the width of everything. So we need it to go to 42, so we're just going to add 1 block to each end. And if you like this, when I'm done with it, feel free to use it for your own build of whatever it turns out to be, because I can't ruin that for you. Now we're going to add on another block at the end of each of these because I'm extra for some odd reason, and I thought that I had to have this giant build. So now we're at 44. And then we're actually going to add on a second layer of this because it's the same number for my next one. So, yeah. So we're going to add on So 1, and then 1 more. Intriguing, am I right? Like, it just, you're like probably thinking, Loot, what are you doing? I promise you, it will make much more sense when I actually start building outwards for this build. Right now, you're just probably thinking, you're crazy and this does not look right. You're probably right. It really don't. And now that I'm looking at this, I'm like, holy crap, like, what am I doing? Because this just looks like a huge antler, basically. So now we're gonna go back down in size. That was the biggest the width will ever get in this. So now we're gonna go back down, and we're gonna only do back down in 1. So 42. Yes, because now we're shrinking again. My build is so complicated, I think, but this is the best way I could get to the shape of what I'm wanting to build without it looking totally bad. And it's still going to look rough. It's still going to look pretty bad. Personally, I think in my opinion it looks bad on the paper, but hey, am I right? Like, this is how I'm supposed to learn. So now we actually go back down to 40. So 1, 1. We're right back how we started when it got complicated the first time. Okay? No! Why did I do that? We're not gonna question that. I do not know why I did that. But yeah. I did it again. I keep pressing the wrong button, you know, because I'm special. But here is the build so far compared to my tiny little body. Now let's go find our cube because I keep dropping it for some odd reason. It's a very important piece we need. So now that we're at 40, we're gonna go back down in size. We need to go to 34. So we're gonna go down 6 of these. So we're gonna add on 1, 2, 3. So yeah, I think. I feel like I messed this up along the way somehow, but we're gonna go with it. Because I need to shrink it. So no, I think I'm doing it right. So we're going to go with it and hope that my numbers, because I'm pretty sure that I need to delete the end block here. Because we're still sitting. There we go. We're just gonna shave it off a little bit. So this is what we need. Let's go over here. Do the same thing. Alright, then shave her off. So 1, 2, 3. Now we're back down to 34. Okay. She's coming together slowly. I feel like you guys are still lost as to what I'm building, because now it just seems like I'm building something super tall and unnecessary, which is very unnecessary for what I am building, and it's very tall. But I promise, it has a purpose to me personally, and something that I really personally enjoy. So now we need to go down 2 more. So we're gonna add on, oh shoot. So 34, and I kind of like shaved it down, I guess, already a little too much. That doesn't seem right. So 34. Y'all, I feel like I'm just not having a good math day. Like, this made so much more sense in my head last night. I guess we're just gonna roll with what I'm doing right now, because at this point I'm pretty sure I got lost right here. right here where the number ones are at, I'm pretty sure is where I got lost. So, yeah, I mean, but that's still working. It's still doing what I need it to do. So, let's keep going. So we did 34 and we did 32. So now we need to go back down to a 1, you guys. So, a 1. Like, we just need the 1. We're just gonna shave. We need 1. I am almost certain that I am not mathing myself right now, but it's okay. Because I'm pretty sure I need to just shave off at the end of this one and then build it on over here, but I didn't. So, but I feel like this is going to work out a tad better, and it's not going to make it look so boxy. Like, as you see, it looks very boxed right here. I feel like how I just did this right here is going to help it come together just a tad more. Like, do you see how boxy this is? Like, how big of a leap. Like, look at that leap. So we're just going to delete a couple. And we're going to go do the same thing over here. We're just going to delete off the end because, yeah, see, look. That already made it look so much better. Okay? So much better. So we're gonna do, we can't do it right here. I mean, it's still a big jump, but. Alright, so now that we're down to 30, we're going down to 28. So now we're wrapping it up at the top. Oh, bless me. Sorry. I had to mute myself. You probably heard me like inhale for a huge sneeze. Alright. Now we're going to take it away 1 more. So right here and build. Double that. It's just going to stay in its 1 category for right now. And let's see how the outline of this whole thing is going to go. Because I'm kind of nervous. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning when I drew this out. Why does that look so weird? Like, is it me or does that look so uneven? Maybe it's just from where I'm standing? I don't know. That looks so uneven. Like, if you come all the way out here, look how uneven that looks. Alright, but I promise it's even. So now we're gonna go down to 24, so we're shaving off 2 more. As you see, like, we're just sticking with the 1 category right now. And we're gonna roll with it. So 1 more. We're pretty much gonna do this until we close it up here. I'm pretty sure by now you guys can kind of imagine what it is. Oh my gosh, why does that look like a stripper's top? Like the boobs and then her pelvis and stuff? Like, or is that just me? Let's just keep going. Yep. I feel like it's getting a tad too tall at this point, and I'm going to have to tweak down here a little bit because this just looks like some tatas up here. It just looks like tatas. Am I just building a torso at this point? Because it kind of looks like it. I may have made it a little too wide and slimmed it in too much right here. But I'm praying that the top of this just comes together. I'm gonna pray. Because it actually is a flat top. It doesn't get any bigger. So we're almost done. We have 2 more of these to do. And then it's just off to it is. So it's just gonna be at that. We just, you know. I was going to keep building it all the way up, but then I'd have to remath this entire thing. I would have to completely remath the floor section of the build, and I don't want to have to do that because that took me forever last night. So, yeah. 1 more of those, and then we cut it straight across. I'm already going to have to completely remath everything because of down here. I did it in such a specific math on my paper, and it looks so much better on the paper. I'll just tell you that much. Like, it looks so much better on paper right now. Actually building it, I'm definitely going to have to tweak some things. I might even have to bring this in some and not have it so wide. I wanted a 46 by 44, and it's just not having it right now. So one more round of the doubles here. And then we're gonna shave off the top. So now we shave her down. This is where she stops, which is actually kind of cool because it's like right even with the mountain, and it's going to be built backwards as well. So that's kind of perfect because I was really worried that it would overgo the mountain that I was using, and I would have to build the mountain upwards, which would have taken even more time. So like, I picked perfect placement. I was really worried about where I picked for the placement actually at first, so now that makes me feel a tad bit better. Okay, now that the outline is done, you still cannot tell what I'm trying to make. Because it really honestly just looks like tatas at the moment. I mean, I felt like, oh my gosh, like my plan is actually gonna work because the bottom was coming together so perfectly. It was just coming together very well, and I was like getting so proud of myself. Maybe if I add some here instead of having it like doubled how I had it. Does that look a tad better, or does that just make it look like she's got nipples now? Like, yeah, so that just kind of made it look like she's got a nipple, so we're gonna, that's a no-go. I got a perverted mountain. I don't know if I should just add on down here, like, I'm worried because this kind of took away from how I needed everything. But we're just gonna add in hopes that it gets better. Tweaking it a tad bit really isn't going to hurt anything. So let's just pray to the good heavens, guys. Pray to the good heavens I can fix this. Oh my gosh, that already made it look so much better. Okay, so that is exactly what it needed. She needed to be tweaked just a tad. Alright. God, that makes me so happy. She had me worried. She looked like boobs. So, pray, guys. Pray for me. Perfect. And then it kind of just, should I just go all the way up right here, or should I just leave it? I feel like I should just continue to go. Maybe if I start building from right, like, see how it's just one by one? Like, that's how I want it. Like, I want it to look like she's falling perfectly, if that makes sense. But, like, I feel like the more I go down, the more it's just gonna, like, come into the center, and it's kind of not what I'm wanting. I think I'm just gonna have to, like, fill her in and hope for the freaking best at this point, because she's not molding. Like, it really just looks like a mountain of boobs. I'm not gonna lie. She really just looks like a big mountain of tits. So, I'm worried. I do not want to have to completely rethink how I'm going to do this. Stop my episode just to fix my math because she is not working for me, okay? She's not doing it. Yeah, I don't think I went out on this side, did I? Yeah, so that might be why she's not mathing. This side is so uneven. I knew something looked off. Is that better? Yes, that is better. Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm so worried. This just is not coming together. Maybe if I trim some off the top and I round it out. Like, what do you think? Like, would that help? I don't know. We're just gonna build. It looks more like Iron Man's face shape than anything, I guess. Maybe if I build it out some, we're not gonna struggle as bad. I didn't, yeah. So, the base of it is pretty much there. Um, but I have such a bad feeling about this. I feel like she's not going to come together as well as I hoped. We're gonna staircase this piece because of what I'm doing. I think this is just the best technique to get it the way I need it. So yeah, see? There we go. Now she's techniquing a little. And then we'll add it up some, like we'll build this piece up a little bit so it doesn't look so rigid. But that is basically exactly how I needed this. And then this piece, I feel like I should bubble out more. I feel like this is what the issue is this just isn't going. Like, this isn't happening. Like, we're gonna add. Because I feel like that is one of the main issues here. Yeah, I definitely think that was the issue right there. It was just she's not having a good day type thing. Yeah, so I think there we go. We're gonna delete these side blocks right here. That looks good. Okay. So I think we have figured her out enough that she's not gonna look like she's a walking zombie, y'all. Like, we're just gonna have to forget my math at this point. Because I didn't math well. So, yeah. Widen her out just a tad bit I think definitely helped. It helped a lot with the build. I definitely think that helped. So, there we go. I definitely don't know what happened up here, though. Did I add on too high, maybe? I don't know. Maybe. Oh my gosh. How did I only end up with one right here? How did that how did that happen? Okay. Okay. I'm nervy. I'm just a tad nervous right now. She's not given at the moment. I know what I did. I took that away. Makes so much more sense. I was sitting here adding to it instead of taking from it. There we go. There we go. Okay. So 1, 2, 2, 3. So I'm adding on as I go down. So where's my oneer at? Right here. Okay. 2, 3. Did that fix it? Y'all, does that look like it fixed it? I know she's more shaded in down there. We're just gonna ignore that. But does that look better? We're gonna shave her down here too, because I definitely feel as if I shaded her in too much. And that's what the issue is. It's because I gave too much shade. That was the issue. Let's go. We have solved it. Okay. So this is half mark. This actually marks the halfway mark where you see it like double, like it like has double the amount as everything else. That is exactly what we wanted. Yay. She's doing her thing. So actually, is this where it doubles? Like, this is where it doubles. So we're gonna fly straight across. Yes, it is. So where the 4 and the 4 meet, it should be 6 in the center. I definitely mismathed stuff because look at this. This just looks so uneven. Maybe go down some more. 4, 4, 4, 6, maybe? Okay. We have an uneven face, but at this point I don't even care. We started off so good, y'all. We had all the numbers going great, and then somewhere along the line, I got lopsided boobs. We're gonna continue to shave her down. How's that look? I don't know. Let's just continue to build and pray for me, guys. Pretty much it. That's all you gotta do is continue to pray for me. So I'm just gonna color in some of this because I feel like it would help pop just a tad bit if I colored it in. Yeah, so we're gonna continue to just bubble her out. Trying to do it so it doesn't look so weird. I think that's about as rounded as I'm gonna be able to get it. So So I think by now you can kind of figure out that I'm building a head. And I'm going to randomly place blocks along the side of it so that way it looks more rounded when you're farther out rather than when you're up close. Of course, when you're up close, you're going to tell that it's just kind of patched everywhere. Which is kind of like the idea that I'm trying to work with, is a patched area with different colors to make it pop just a tad bit. Yes, they're closer in reds, but still going to give that little bit of pop of color that it's going to need for it to be a three-dimensional character that does not look all the same color. So, yeah. We're just gonna roll with it because at this point she's coming along nicely. We don't want to disturb the creativity. So like when I'm building, I get very quiet. If I'm too quiet, just say something because I will stay quiet. Like I'm in the process of building something and it's taking a lot of brain power to be quite literal. Like I am hardcore right now in the concentration zone just so I don't get anything wrong. Yeah, so I am just very concentrated right now. So if I'm quiet and needs to talk, let me know, because I will definitely talk more if it bothers you that I'm too quiet. Because again, I will stay quiet and I just won't say anything. I mean, and it's not intentional, and it's not that I don't want to talk, more that I'm just trying not to completely screw stuff up. Because the part that I'm building now is going to be the biggest challenge of this whole thing, is to make it rounded as possible without looking like complete trash. Okay? Because she will look like trash if I do not do the placing correctly to make her look a tad more three-dimensional than she actually is. So you're going to see me placing some random blocks just about anywhere I can stick them, so that she's not looking too weird. We're going to go ahead and bring some of this way so that, again, because she's looking a little flat right now, definitely, and kind of what I'm trying to avoid right now. And I'm also trying to not make her as wide. I don't want it to be that wide, but if it gets wider just so it can round about at the back, totally fine. I mean, not gonna panic about it. It's really no big deal. Just wish me luck, 'cause I feel like I'm gonna need it. Oh, wrong color. let's just continue to patch certain areas in hopes that she gives a tad a pop sooner than later. Kind of what I was worried about was that she's not going to make a big of a pop of color as she needs to. So, but we also don't want the inside of this area to show on the outside. That too is what I'm so concentrating on trying to avoid, is because I don't want people to just all willy-nilly fly up in here any way they please. We're trying so hard to make this work, and I'm gonna pray that I can. So please, 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 please pray with me, because we're struggling. I knew that this was going to be difficult, but I just didn't think it'd be this hard. Okay, so as you see, I'm randomly placing my colors. Make sure not to avoid up here, like I obviously am. Bad about that. As you see, she's starting to slowly pop out this way. Yes, 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 queen. She's getting there. So continue to just randomly place your red colors, you know, kind of wherever. Just so we keep her coming. We don't, you know, want it to be bland, which she's definitely not. This build has definitely got some character. I feel like this just looked like some really messy red hair. It's kind of what it's given, like your messy hair at the moment. Okay, let's give it some pop right there. She's slowly getting there. I definitely didn't think too far ahead on everything, but I'm gonna try my best here. And if she just doesn't come along, we're gonna move on to a different idea, since the whole point of doing it on this map is to do a test run. Which so far is not going too bad, honestly. I'm just gonna be honest, like, it's going pretty well, given the circumstances that it's not giving a noggin, it's giving more like a box, but it is definitely something we can still work with, so we're gonna continue to just add random blocks and let them fall where they may, because at this point I don't even care. Like, this is kind of just fun, just giving it a little creation idea. Yeah. Let's throw like a couple colors up here or something. Like, just throw some colors. Okay, yeah, see, like that. Make it more headbound up there and not just boring. Yeah, yeah, see? She's giving it now. She's giving it. She's just slowly getting there. Okay, let's do some random placements here and try and round this area out just a little bit more. Of course, she's not going to be entirely perfect, which we're expecting. I mean, given that it's blocks. But I'm not sure I'm liking it, honestly. I mean, I tried it, and I guess that's all I can say is just go with a more simple idea because I'm struggling so bad just to get it to round out here that I'm adding so many blocks that I'm gonna have to go back in and dig right back out and pray I don't scratch the surface up here because it'll be bad. Yeah, so I'm like, I cannot hear my game. Like, I cannot hear it at all. Oh, I forgot to turn the music off. I was like, duh. Okay. So I think I'm going to abort mission right here and go back to the drawing board because this is going to just look totally off. I don't know if it's just because I got the face shape wrong or what the deal was, but I mean, because like I got the rounding out pretty much there. I'm just really struggling with my vision and getting it correct, honestly. Sorry about that. Beelzebub called. He's on his way home, which means we'll be jumping on the other server in a little bit. I do have a doctor's appointment. But we'll definitely go live again. I mean, he's on his drawing board at the moment. I don't think he's quite figured out what he's doing for his. So I guess I'll just wish him the best because I don't think he quite knows what he wants to do for his yet, so... Yeah. I either feel like I talk too much or I don't talk enough. I just... struggles at the moment are very real. Because I feel like this just looks like a big blob of red stuff in the sky at the moment. But I'm trying so hard to make it look like a skeleton. A skeletal system. If you're catching my drift. Don't forget to close the holes. Delete some blocks. I mean, don't be afraid to just keep going at the same colored scheme. I mean, like, as you see, like, I'm just placing these randomly and hoping for the best. Like, just do that. And then, like, if I don't like a placement and I think it's too much of the same color in one area, delete it. I'll delete that one. And then bring it back this way. Okay. So it is coming together quite nicely on this side, actually. Like, it actually doesn't look as bad as I thought it was going to. Then we'll do a far out look so that you guys can definitely tell if it's been rounded out enough or not. I mean, don't be afraid to like drop some opinions on things that I could change for it. I would not be opposed to some of your opinions because, as you can see, I'm struggling as is, and that is how round out we've got so far. So yeah. Look at her. She's looking. So she's getting there very slowly. Let's go make sure. Yeah, so that looks so much better. And then, like, the stuff that you see bubbled out right here will get eventually decreased. Just haven't quite got there yet. But it's definitely rounding out a lot better than I thought it would, so. Placing some random blocks. Me doing this kind of just like helps me to place stuff better, and it will also help me fill it in a lot quicker than how I'm filling in now. So as you see, I just started randomly placing blocks everywhere. Yeah, so like quite a bit of this is too wide out. Yeah, that should do it. About right there. Alright guys, I'll be back. All right. Not me sitting here losing everything. Alright, so in the comments, just tell me whether or not you think I should do something else, or if this actually looks okay. So there we have it. Half of it is done. So that's the inside of the head so far. We still have to continue to go back, and then I have to even it out up against at least one of the walls so that it doesn't look so off. But yeah, so we just continue to bubble her up, you know, just like this. Just go whoop, whoop. And then connect it to the back here, build the back wall, and call it a day. Because then we got to start building outwards so that I could build the door to get inwards. But yeah, so she looks interesting so far, but I think I'll do a different base than what this one is. This one is more like your finishing base here. I want to start off with a starting base that's a tad smaller than this, so that way it gets just as much as this does, but it doesn't give as much. So I'll continue to build onto this and then show you guys every time I start building on. And then when I finally finish the head here, I will come back with the next episode and we'll start on the face of it all and start bringing it out. Because once I get the foundation built, I can worry about the door and all of that later on. So right now, let's just get this done because I still have to add on the ears, because that is a major part of this foundation, is the ears of it all. So we'll get there. But I'll be back when I finish the rest of the head, and you guys have an episode 2 of when the back of the head is finished. And then we'll start on the face together. I think I'm going to do the ears last because I really need the head to be completely finished before I start, just so it doesn't get messed up. But yes. So, Loot will be back with the test product when the rest of the head is finished, the back of it that is, and then we'll work on the face together and call this an episode, because I have stuff to do. But me and Beelzebub will definitely be on later, so make sure to check out my live then. Thank you, and come back again if you enjoy and are curious as to what I am building. It is a mystery. You have to watch to find out. Thank you.